Hello and welcome to WEBN General News. I'm Meira Fiber-Munro.
And I am Justin Chen. Let's get right into today's top stories.
Boston police have launched an investigation following the discovery of 2 bodies in the Moxie Hotel in Boston. Police called homicide detectives to join the investigation after a general manager discovered the bodies. District Attorney Kevin Hayden advises the public to remain calm.
A Norfolk County judge pushed the Kerin Reed murder trial back by at least a month following the release of over 1,000 pages of new evidence. Reed is accused of murdering her boyfriend, a Boston police officer, in 2022. The postponement comes after prosecutors claim to have DNA evidence connecting Reed to murder. Her trial date is now set for April 16th.
A New Hampshire jury convicted Adam Montgomery of second-degree murder on Thursday. Montgomery was found guilty of killing his daughter, Harmony Montgomery, back in 2019.
We still got to find her. It's kind of where been articulated that well. If anybody, please, this girl deserves better than the life that she had.
The 4 other charges against Adam Montgomery will be sentenced at a later date. Although the trial is over, the search for Harmony's body still continues. We now go to Emma Siebold for international news. Emma?
Thanks, Meira. French officials said Russia threatened to shoot down a French aircraft over the Black Sea. The aircraft was an airborne warning and control system used for surveillance. According to French Defense Minister Sébastien Lecornu, the aircraft was flying over international waters in November when Russian air traffic control said they would destroy it. Lecornu said Russia's behavior is increasingly aggressive amid difficulties with the war in Ukraine. Thousands of residents evacuated Plymouth, England on Friday when authorities moved an unexploded World War II bomb through the city. The explosive, thought to be a German bomb from the Second World War, was found in a garden in the city's Kiam neighborhood. A military convoy moved the 1,000-pound explosive to the sea. Naval divers will detonate the bomb underwater, which officials said was the best option for public safety. Scottish scientists uncovered a 240-million-year-old fossil in the Guizhou province in southern China. The species is called Dinocephalosaurus orientalis and dates back to the Triassic period. Scientists said it was a marine reptile with many vertebrae that gave it a snake-like appearance. While not closely related, Dinocephalosaurus orientalis shares some physical similarities to the plesiosaur, which inspired the myth of the Loch Ness Monster. That's all for international news. Back to you at the desk.
Massachusetts high school basketball coach has been charged for sexually assaulting a New Hampshire student back in 2022. Jesus Moore turned himself into the Manchester police on Thursday. The police says Moore offered the girl alcohol and sexually assaulted her at a Manchester motel. The girl was a minor at the time. Moore has been the head coach for Lawrence High School basketball team since 2018 and a gym teacher since 2017.
Saturday marked 2 years since Russia's full-scale invasion of Ukraine. The European Union and the G7 have expressed solidarity with Ukraine and signed a security deal to send the country aid.
Together we bow our heads. 730 days of pain, but at the same time, 730 days of hope.
This deal comes after a virtual press conference with several world leaders, including Ukraine President Volodymyr Zelensky. Italian Premier Giorgia Meloni chaired the conference, maintaining that she supports a comprehensive, just, and lasting peace.
South Carolina's primary election last Tuesday ended highly in Trump's favor as the race for the Republican nominee continues. For more on politics, let's go to our political correspondent, Phoebe Alves. Phoebe?
Thanks, Justin. Former President Donald Trump has come out in support of in vitro fertilization after an Alabama Supreme Court ruling. The court said embryos are children under law. This caused clinics to pause IVF treatments. Trump took to Truth Social to say he and the Republican Party should support life. The Biden campaign directly attributes the ruling of the 2022 overturning of Roe v. Wade and Trump's 3 conservative judge appointees. Trump's opponent in the Republican primary, Nikki Haley, did not make a clear statement, saying, "Embryos to me are babies." Former President Donald Trump beats Republican primary opponent Nikki Haley in her home state of South Carolina. Two-time Governor Haley says that she will stay in the race despite this loss. However, the former president has won every single delegate contest so far and is considered to have an easy path to the Republican nomination. Nomadic magician Paul Carpenter says he was paid by a Democratic operative to utilize artificial intelligence to impersonate President Joe Biden. Carpenter claimed he was hired by political operative Steve Kramer, who has worked for Dean Phillips's presidential campaign. The motivation behind this exchange was to create a robocall to discourage Biden's supporters from voting in the New Hampshire primary. That's all for politics. Back to you at the desk.
Coming up, a look into how communities across the country have been honoring late non-binary teenager Next Benedict.
And more updates on what seems to be a rainy week ahead of us.
If I could be you, and you could be me for just 1 hour. If we could find a way to get inside each other's minds. Walk a mile in my shoes. Walk a mile in my shoes. Well, before you abuse, criticize, and accuse. Walk a mile in my shoes.
Welcome back to WEBN General News. Community across the country held vigils this past week for non-binary teenager Next Benedict.
I think that part of it, and that just being a mom, that empathy and that fear that every parent has, like it pulls my heart out personally, I think any parent would feel that way.
Benedict was killed February 8th following a bullying incident at their high school. Parents and friends spoke at a vigil in Oklahoma that a local LGBTQ alliance group organized. This is the first of many vigils scheduled across the nation in the coming week.
A San Diego reception center ran out of funding on Friday, leaving hundreds of migrants at a local transit center.
Around 10 days now. I've passed through many countries to get to the United States because I know I can get my things only in here, not anywhere in the world.
San Diego's government has been struggling to support migrants for months. In October, San Diego County offered a nonprofit community service organization $6 million to support the influx of migrants. Since then, 81,000 migrants have been helped. As facilities become overcrowded, street releases are common. Despite Monday's warm weather, the rest of the week is looking to be rather bleak. For more on the latest weather updates, we have Rylie Burns. Rylie?
Thanks, Meira. Tomorrow will be partly cloudy with a high of 57 and a low of 49. Steady rain is expected later in the evening. Wednesday will be windy and rainy with a high of 59 and a low of 28. Thursday will be partly cloudy with a high of 34 and a low of 24. Friday has a high of 48 and will be mostly sunny. The low is 36. Saturday and Sunday will both have highs of 53 with a chance of showers. The low on Saturday will be 45 and on Sunday will be 43. That's all for the weather. Back to you at the desk.
Talk show host Wendy Williams faces a challenging diagnosis of frontotemporal dementia and aphasia.
I do not have a prepared speech because I know from the top of my heart who I want to thank from the bottom of my heart.
The condition affects the front and sides of the brain, leading to difficulties in speech and communication. Wendy Williams, known for her vibrant personality and candid talk show discussions, has stepped back from the public eye as she navigates her diagnosis. Her family and her friends, though, have rallied in support, asking for privacy and understanding. As strong data fueling the U.S. economy, the Federal Reserve will be holding interest rates steady at 5.75% to cool down inflation. This means mortgage rates will reach around 7 to 8%. Tonight, I spoke with a recent homebuyers down in the South Shore, and they say they are suffering.
I think it's definitely been more difficult.
Kelley Ryan and her family recently purchased their first single-family home. She closed the deal in late December. That is when interest rates reached 7.5% for her. But the trouble did not just start there.
Most times when you put an offer in, they were expecting 30, 40, 50K over asking, which is considerable when you're thinking about how much more that adds to your mortgage on a monthly basis.
On the inventory side, Kelley said houses are just flying off as soon as they hit the market.
For instance, this home my husband didn't even see prior to us putting an offer on it.
The low inventory doesn't just echo with home buyers, but also realtors like Justin O'Connor.
We're looking right now at about 3,000 single-family houses in the state. I think in a balanced market, we're usually seeing about 7,500.
Despite the headwind, Kelley still remains hopeful, and she advised everyone.
And then also knowing it's okay to start with the starter house. This is our starter home. I don't foresee us here for longer than 5 years. And that's okay because we're creating equity, and then we can move on to a home that makes more sense for longer than that.
Despite signs of a slowing inflation, the Federal Reserve believes high interest rates will remain until the second half of this year.
Stock market prices for artificial intelligence company NVIDIA jumped 16% on Thursday. The company's market value increased a record-breaking $273 billion in one day. Demand surrounding artificial intelligence is not slowing down as NVIDIA becomes well known. The company recently passed Amazon to become the third most valuable public company, just behind Microsoft and Apple.
A former Seattle Seahawks cornerback was arrested on suspicion of a DUI. For more on local and national sports, we have Jake Kelley. Jake?
Thanks, Justin. Although the season may be over for the Emerson Lions men's basketball team, their playoff success, despite being the lowest seed in the tournament, did not go unnoticed. The number 6 Lions defeated number 3 Wheaton College in the opening round of the NUMAC tournament, but fell short against number 2 Clark University in the quarterfinals. The leading scorer for the Lions in both of these games dropped 18 points on their opponent. Against Wheaton, it was sophomore Brendan McNamara, and against Clark, it was senior Trevor Arico. Former Seattle Seahawks cornerback Richard Sherman was arrested on suspicion of a DUI. A CNN report says that when Sherman was asked about whether or not he consumed alcohol at some point in the evening, he admitted to having 2 margaritas before getting behind the wheel. Sherman was stopped by Washington State Patrol around 2 a.m. Pacific Standard Time for speeding, which prompted this DUI arrest against the former NFL corner. And the Boston University men's hockey team wrapped up the month of February on a 3-game win streak. The Terriers outscored UConn 12-1 this past weekend between the game in Soares Friday night and the game in Boston Saturday night. BU has now clinched a home playoff game in the Hockey East quarterfinals, and they return to action in the month of March in Providence on the 7th, home against Vermont on the 9th, and then on the 16th at home in the playoffs.
Coming up, Olivia Rodrigo kicks off her highly anticipated world tour in Palm Springs.
And one whale in North Carolina gave marine conservationists a happy surprise.
love them enough to relearn math so you can teach them math, then surely you'll check nhtsa.gov/the-right-seat to make sure they're correctly buckled in the back seat.
Hey world, I have a quick message. It's about safe driving. All right, let's go. Anytime you're driving, have the seatbelt buckled tight. Both hands on the wheel and your phone out of sight. When not in your hand trying to text somebody back. Because if you do, your car might get smacked. The moral of the story, just put your phone down. The people on the road will stay safe and sound. Put your phone down, put your phone down. People on the road will stay safe and sound. Yeah.
Welcome back to WEBN News. So Meira, we have a lot of entertainment news this week, right? We have from Taylor Swift to Olivia Rodrigo. I am just so excited about it.
I know I'm ready to sing my heart out, or maybe my guts out, at her concert this summer. Emily, what do you have for us?
Thanks, Meira. Olivia Rodrigo kicked off her world tour in Palm Springs, Florida. Rodrigo will be performing songs from her sophomore album, Guts. Following the massive success of her debut album, Sour, Rodrigo is bringing new and rising star Chappell Roan along as her opening act. Ahead of such an exciting tour expected to reach venues like Madison Square Garden and London's O2 Arena, fans are flocking to merch stands in order to get their hands on some limited on-site merchandise. Fans of Taylor Swift got an extra treat during the acoustic section of her Eras tour this past Friday. During one of her nights at Sydney's Accor Stadium, concert opener Sabrina Carpenter joined Taylor on stage, performing a mashup and a duet. Carpenter, the usual opener, was forced to cancel her set due to rain delays and lightning strikes in the area. They performed a rendition of Coney Island and Whitehorse after Carpenter shared that the song was very important to her growing up. Carpenter described the event as a once-in-a-lifetime moment and was ecstatic to perform with such an incredible artist. Spice Girl alum Victoria Beckham broke her foot Thursday after injuring it at the gym. Her husband and famous soccer player David Beckham revealed the break on his Instagram story, which featured a picture of Victoria's foot enclosed in a boot. Despite the injury, Beckham was shown leaving a dinner with friends, sporting not only her boot and some crutches, but also a sleek black ensemble with matching heart-cup slip-back pumps. That's all I have today for entertainment news. Back to you at the desk.
A new addition to one of the ocean's most endangered species is giving researchers a whale of a time. A North Atlantic right whale known as Skittle has been spotted with a newborn calf off the coast of North Carolina. Skittle, approximately 23-year-old in whale years, there are currently less than 350 North Atlantic right whales left in the ocean.
Thank you for joining us for WEBN General News. I'm Meira Fiber-Munro.
And I am Justin Chen. For more, go to WEBN.TV or check out our Instagram at WEBN General News. See you next week.